What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Midweek Athletes Pod. We got a full house tonight, and we also got a very, very special guest with us.
Yes, sir.
We got a very special guest. She's a former college basketball player from the University of Maryville. Shout out to the Ville, where she won the conference tournament her sophomore year. And currently she works for the Houston Rockets as a premium account rep executive. But most importantly, she's my wife. Let's give it up for Samantha Vaden. Let's go.
Happy to be here.
Happy. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Happy to have you here, Sam.
Happy.
All right.
Congratulations again. Evan, you look like you got a nice little tan on the honeymoon. Look refreshed, my brother.
You know, looking a little dark. You know,
hopefully we can get another refresh going, guys. Remember, he said after the wedding.
He said after the wedding. I was just about to say he rubbed her hair. You already know, man.
Go ahead, Evan. Take us where we headed to first.
All right, we're just going to start this off because obviously it's the big topic of the weekend. We're going to get into the AFC NFC championship predictions. So, special guest. Who do you have winning versus with the Chiefs and the Ravens?
I'm gonna say the Ravens.
Yeah.
I'll be honest and upfront. I don't watch a whole lot of football unless you got on TV or you're talking. But I've watched enough to know that at least this year, in my opinion, I feel like there's a lot of drama, intensity, and some team chemistry issues with the Chiefs. Not saying that they're not good to perform at the highest level, but I don't want a T Swift Super Bowl. I really don't.
I agree with you.
And
I'd be the worst.
I just feel like that's all it's been. It's like Chief. It's not really Chiefs. It's T Swift. Mm-hmm. Like, and no offense to her, but it's like, come on now. Like, I just want to get over it. Like, I'm happy for them. I think they'll get married. Kumbaya. But let's get back to football.
All right.
I agree.
Wes, you go right
I agree with everything she just said. Like, y'all know I picked Baltimore a few weeks ago to go to the Super Bowl. I've been on this train. Lamar, he's about to win his second MVP. He is arguably going to go down as the greatest running quarterback to ever play in the history of the game. He's like that. He's two-time MVP. Cam only had one. Michael Vick never won an MVP.
Michael Vick doesn't even have an All-Pro.
Oh, wow.
Never.
All right.
So, look, I think it's their time. They got the best defense left in the playoffs. Their coaching staff is coaching amazingly. They beat the hell out the Texans in that second half. And honestly, I'm tired of seeing the Chiefs in the Super Bowl at this point. It's getting to be Brady and the Patriots, and I hate it with a passion.
Okay. Ev?
Y'all already know me, man.
Go ahead.
I'm against the grain.
Of course.
So, I ain't gonna lie. The Chiefs might got this one.
You gonna take Kermit?
Yes, man. The Chiefs might got this one. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I told y'all, like, I don't know. This might have been off camera, but I told y'all the Chiefs are a very scary team. Like, you cannot. I told y'all, like, they're gonna pussyfoot around in the playoffs. I mean, the regular season, but once the playoffs come, bro, they gonna do their job. Look what they're doing. Like, I mean, they kind of escaped out of their teeth with Buffalo, but hey, you know the game's won by inches, right? We talking about getting to the Super Bowl.
True.
Buffalo, they had the chance to at least take it to overtime. They didn't. Josh Allen. I mean,
it wasn't Josh Allen.
Yeah, it wasn't Josh Allen.
Yes, it was. Are we gonna have this conversation, or are we gonna sit here and act like it's not?
It wasn't fully his fault.
It wasn't fully.
Fully his fault. He did all he could. He had a rushing touchdown. He threw for a touchdown. Threw for two, I think.
He did all he could.
He did the best he was capable of doing.
Oh, really? Everett, let me ask you a question. You're running wide open on a post route to win the game. Wide open. You're wide open, and I throw it in the dirt. Is that my fault or your fault?
No, that's your fault. I mean,
like,
was he talking about? Yeah, I mean, it's your fault. Don't get it twisted. But I mean, we talk about factors. It's a lot of factors in the game. Not just that play you could have lost in the game. They also could have tackled a lot better.
He also fumbled the ball on that last drive, but they didn't pick it up.
Yeah, they also made a great defensive play. So you know what I'm saying? Like, that game could have went both ways. But again, I think the Chiefs are gonna go in, beat the Ravens. They're gonna probably beat them. Let me give y'all a score prediction.
Oh, here we go. Come on.
I think they're gonna beat. Let's see a score of 28-24.
Okay, so it's
28. It's gonna be a close game. They're not gonna blow them out. It's not gonna be a blow them out because the Chiefs don't blow people out no more. They don't do that. You know what I'm saying? They just go win a football game. Simple as that. Just go put up another dub in the win column.
I mean, I can't be mad at you for picking the Chiefs. Like,
Yeah.
nobody can be mad at you for that.
I am actually going to roll with the Chiefs as well. So I mean, basically everything that Ev just said. But for me, obviously throughout the regular season, you know, they had a big problem with receivers just dropping the ball left and right. Even Kelsey just was not on his A game.
He didn't even put up 1,000 yards this year.
Yeah, he didn't put up 1,000. But I feel like now they hit the playoffs, and even though they barely got by Buffalo, I feel like they're finally like clicking. Receivers are starting to catch the ball. Everybody's getting in their rhythm.
They got into playoff mode.
And
That's what I'm saying.
Like they're in playoff mode.
Man, that playoff mode is, you know, some people can do it. Miami Heat, they do it.
I just
Playoff
think,
mode. They get to the finals. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I have nothing against Baltimore. I don't. I think Baltimore, obviously, number one seed, give all credit to them. I just have a real bad feeling that they're going to lose. I just have that feeling that they're going to lose, and I don't want Lamar to lose, but I don't
know why.
That they're going to lose.
I just feel like something is going to happen in this game. Like, watch, Odell's going to have a hamstring problem in the second quarter.
Zay Flowers is going to something's going to happen.
The Chiefs
find
a way to win. It is sickening. It is kind of like the Patriots. It is very sickening. I think
go ahead.
That game against the Bengals last year when the guy tackled him.
Sickening.
I literally, right before that play, I was at the bar. I was like, yeah, Patrick Holmes is about to scramble and that's a call. Field goal, win a game. It's like, bro, this is ridiculous. Like,
that's what happens every time.
So we got 2 for the Ravens.
Oh yeah,
and we got 2 for the Chiefs.
I got the Ravens running them boys out the field.
Willie went to field included a little bit. Right. So, hey Willie, who do you have?
All right, next. before we get on to NFC, Sam, what do you think the score prediction is going to be with the Chiefs and Ravens?
I think it's gonna be close.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be close. I don't have a score in mind. I just don't. I think it'll be a good game.
Okay. Wes, what you got?
Baltimore, 34.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Kansas City, 20.
I can't see Kansas City defense giving up 30 points.
And you already went, right, Ev? You already said yours?
28-24, Kansas City.
I'm going to go Chiefs, 27, Ravens, 22.
22? That's an odd score.
It is, but I couldn't think of another number. But anyway, all right, we're going to move on to the NFC. Okay. 49ers or Lions? Sam, who you got?
Niners.
Niners?
Yeah. In my experience of just knowing the Niners and watching the Niners, like, I just have one word: offense.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, the Lions, like, right now, okay, I'm not referring to the Cowboys by any means, but, like, they're kind of like.
No, refer.
No. I'm saying more of, like, they're, like, America's team right now. Like, the underdog, like, they made it this far, but, like, their lack of conference championship experience is gonna hinder them a bit. But, like, no question, it's like 49ers. Their offense just runs everybody off the board.
And that was just, damn. All right. Wes, you go right ahead. Well, I'm actually kind of shocked.
She did her research, man.
She did her research.
I think San Francisco's going to win as well. But it's going to come down to Brock Purdy. He's going to have to light these boys up. Because Detroit is very good against the run, 3rd in the league against the run, 88 yards allowed a game. That's really good. But they're terrible against the pass. 27th against the pass in Detroit secondary. Secondary is not good. Brock Purdy's going to have to light them up. You're going to have to make some tough throws. He's going to have to stay in the pocket. He's going to have to play better than he did last week against Green Bay. I did take Green Bay to win that game. And if y'all watch that game, Green Bay actually should have won that game last week. They dropped multiple interceptions that could have won them that game. But the 49ers, man, they just going to light it up. If Debo plays, they're going to blow them boys out.
F?
I don't know what y'all was with y'all, but hey, man, like, y'all already know how I feel about them Lions, man. Like,
oh my God.
I've been telling y'all. Serious? Yes, I'm dead serious. I've been telling everybody for the past 2 to 3 years. Dan Campbell is that coach. He makes players want to run through the wall. Like, have you seen his speeches? I would go suit up and play for this man right now. Like,
have you seen his fourth down decision?
Yeah, he got big ass balls because he's converting them motherfuckers.
Did not.
He converted that bitch last week.
Oh my God, Tampa Bay's not that good.
Hey, he won them. Hey, they beat the Eagles.
The Eagles sucked.
They do.
I told you that weeks ago.
Hey, they beat
Start
the
10-1 and then lose 6 of 7.
You suck.
Yeah.
Unacceptable.
But hey, I'm gonna take the Lions. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I think the Lions gonna come in. I think they have the energy, the right energy right now. I've been telling everybody for like the past like 2 to 3 years. Like I really like the Lions. I think they're been a dark horse team outside of you guys.
Do you trust Jared Goff?
I actually do. You gotta remember, bro. He went to the Super Bowl. It's not like y'all act like Jared Goff is just.
And what happened when he got there?
He went to Super. I mean, he lost.
fair.
No.
I mean,
What happened? I don't care if you
It was
win
a
or lose.
low-scoring game.
He didn't play well.
It was a low-scoring game. Tom Brady didn't play well. The
but
score
in the-
ended like 10-3.
And in the
No,
championship,
it was real low.
that
Super
was the year in the championship game where Nicole Roby-Coleman hit the Saints player before the ball got there, and they just throw the flag. They never make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be.
Was it not the Vikings
Saints.
and
no,
Saints?
No, that was
the
Saints
Rams and the Saints.
Yeah,
No, that was Vikings and Saints.
No, it wasn't.
it was
Vikings and
No,
Saints.
No, Vikings and Saints is the
With
guy
Stephon
that
Diggs.
Stephon Diggs
Stephon
caught the
Diggs,
interception, caught the game
Yeah.
winning. But yeah, it don't matter, bro. Like, hey, bro, he went to the NFC Championship game, so he has experience. Jared Goff can play
does.
Right.
well. Like, do you even remember the receivers on that team, the Rams?
On that Rams team, hell no.
Exactly, bro. Jared Goff can
Hell
get the job
no.
done. Like,
I remember
now he has
Ty
a Monte
Gurley.
Brown. He got Laporta. Like, bro, he got Reynolds. Bro, he gives Montgomery. Hey, bro, they got an electric offense as well. Like, so
But he doesn't play well
They can put up
outdoors.
45 points
No.
out of anywhere.
He doesn't play well outdoors.
Who?
Jared Goff notoriously does not play well outdoors.
Man, I'm not worried about
I
that.
guess we about to find.
We about to find
Yeah,
out.
so I'm guessing you got San Fran too.
Yeah, I actually do have San Fran based on what Sam and Wes said. Their offense is just top notch. Got all the weapons. My only concern is Brock Purdy, which we've talked about in previous
And
episodes.
Aiden-
but that's my
Brock
only
Purdy.
concern is Brock Purdy.
Aiden Hutchinson is
Is that
Right.
very nice. Very
Yeah.
nice.
You
very
know what
nice.
You know what San Francisco's gonna do?
Trent
Meet Trent Williams.
Meet
Trent
Williams.
All right, so Sam, what do you think your score prediction would be for 49ers and Lions?
I don't know the numbers, but I feel like this is going to be more of a run for the Niners. Like, it's not going to be as close as the Ravens-Chiefs game.
Mm-hmm.
So I would score the Niners significantly higher than the Lions.
Wes?
I think they'll just crumble.
Ooh, crumble.
San Francisco's gonna. I feel like San Francisco's gonna dominate, but it's probably be like 28-17.
You think they're gonna like dominate? Like,
It won't be like a 30-point blowout,
Okay,
but they're
I was about
gonna
to say.
dominate the game.
Yeah.
So it'd be probably like 28-17.
Ev, what you got?
I got a score is 21-17 Lions.
17? That's all you giving
That's what
that
I'm saying,
49ers
17?
offense?
Yeah, I remember Debo's playing injured, and
Yeah.
they're really terrible out Debo. Like they're like I saw it on ESPN, bro. They significant like yards per play just goes so much down when he's
It
off
does.
the field. Like it's really bad. And if he's limited, he's playing limited snap safe. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's Debo. He's gonna try to go out there and play. It's an
Right.
NFC playoff game. He's
gonna
gonna
have
try to
to.
give it his 100%. But if he plays like 25 to only like 30 plays, like, that can really hinder him.
Can. And he won't be able to run it like he
Yeah,
normally does.
like their
Not with that
offense is gonna
shoulder
be-
injury.
Really, their main thing is let's make sure Christian McCaffrey don't hit us for big games.
That's true.
That's what they really need to worry about.
But it go back to Brock Purdy, like you said. It's
goes-
gonna come down to
It's
Purdy.
gonna come down to Brock Purdy. So,
Either he make it the plays or they're gonna lose.
all right. So let's move on. We're moving on to the next topic. So, Sam, former college athlete, you have a ring. Your team is in the Hall of Fame at Maryville. So, what do you think right now, as far as women's basketball and women's sports in general? What do you think Caitlin Clark's impact is on the sport?
Well, I think everyone, no matter their opinions, can just agree that Caitlin Clark is a phenomenal basketball player.
1000%.
Hands down. I mean,
Absolutely.
her history as a player, like obviously very young, 3 gold medals, like coming into college, leading as a freshman, Big Ten Player of the Year, like those are all fine and dandy, but it's the way that she's evolved over the years as a player. Like, I mean, especially this season, like she's averaging over 30 points a game.
31, 6, and 7.
The last game against Ohio State, which I know we're going to get to in a little bit, I'm excited about, she had 45. Like, that's her highest game thus far. My excitement for her outside of college is, especially with all the NIL stuff that's going on, right? Like, she, as well as Reese and some other gymnasts, but we're specifically talking about basketball, she's top 5 in NIL earning potential and like worth, right? So, which we'll talk about another thing she did for her teammates in reference to that. But so what I see her doing when it comes to her transition into the WNBA, because we know she's obviously gonna be a top 3 pick.
Top one.
Top one.
Well, yes.
Well, maybe.
Safe say is just top 3 for me. But people like Stewart, Plum, Wilson that are already raising the ranks for salaries for the WNBA, I think she's just going to catapult that even further. I mean, she's selling out every game that she's playing in the college arena. I mean, the WNBA, in addition to college basketball, is getting the recognition and the viewership that they should have had decades ago. And so I just think this is going to continue. And in addition to Caitlin Clark, like, we also have to talk about, which I know is later, like, that there are so many female college women's basketball players that may not have the stats as Caitlin Clark, and some of the things she's doing offensively, shooting threes from 25-foot range, like they're not comparing her, but calling her like the Curry type shooter. And she's averaging 40 to 50%, including from that range. So, yeah, I mean, there's some things about her character that are a little questionable for me, which I'll let y'all bring that up later. But just as far as basketball and the game itself, like, there's no question.
Because I have a question surrounding Caitlin, and I've been wondering this. She is a walking bucket. She can score on anybody.
31, 6, and 7.
But I've seen the stat where anytime she goes over 40, they don't win.
Right.
So my question to you would be, when she gets to the next level in the WNBA, will her game be able to translate and lead directly to winning, or is she going to put up a lot of stats but not win?
That's a good question.
For me, I think it's going to be definitely hard her first year. Like, I think it's going to be more stat heavy, but as far as like winning, she's going to have to understand her role a little bit. Because for me personally, like, and I know I don't really compare on that level, right? But like, when you come from high school and going to college, you're no longer just the best player in your team. You're the best player in your team with other people that are best players on their team.
Right.
And so I think it's going to be kind of a little bit of a transition or a wake-up call for her going into that, especially if she continues to let her character drive outside of the game. That could cause some problems, especially, for me. Because I see some other girls that are in the WNBA or in college that have that fire and have that drive, but to an extent.
Right.
And I feel like she's kind of playing with fire on that a little bit, and she'll be humbled very quickly when she goes to the WNBA.
Yeah, because them girls on that next level.
She's already considered the best women's basketball player of all time.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry. I was going to say she's less than 200.
College, I'm sorry.
She's less than
college.
She's less than 180 points away from passing Plum for all-time career scoring in Division I women's basketball.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't rank it by points though when it comes to this player.
What do you rank it by?
Total play. You know what I'm saying? Not just points. It's Kareem Abdul.
Oh, so now it's total play. Continue. Now it's total play. Carry on.
Nah, not just total play, but you know what I'm saying? Because you got people. You got Maya Moore.
Yeah, and I was about to
bring that up. Candace Parker.
You know what I'm saying? You got who? They don't just put up a lot of points. Maya Moore, first of all, come on.
The difference,
and that's what I was about to say.
I see your point. The difference, though, I think with Maya Moore and people like that is the team they surrounded themselves with. Like, UConn, that's just a name in itself. Caitlin, Iowa's a great basketball team, but without Caitlin, they wouldn't be anywhere.
They would not be Iowa at all.
I think you've seen that difference in the national championship game last year. When they played LSU, it was like it's a team versus one person.
Which I do agree. I do agree that championship game put some heat on her back. And I think that's also plays into her character a little bit this year, why she's got more of a chip on her shoulder.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Go ahead, Evan.
I just think when it comes to like the impact with Caitlin, like she forces you to watch the game because obviously, women's basketball and sports isn't as dominant on ESPN and all that stuff as NFL, NBA, and stuff like that. But like everywhere you look, anytime you refresh the page, Caitlin Clark, she's everywhere.
She is.
Like, I haven't, and because you brought up Maya Moore, I haven't seen someone that really forced me to watch women's college basketball outside of Candace Parker and Maya Moore.
Sabrina.
And Sabrina.
Wilson.
Right, and Wilson. But like, but that's the thing. Like,
And
like,
Paige.
Because that
Paige
list,
too.
because
Paige,
that list
nice.
is very short.
I was gonna have a hot
That's my point.
take. I have a hot take because I ain't gonna lie. I tell people
I
this all
hope
the
we
time.
on the same page
Yeah,
with this one.
same.
I think Paige Buckner is gonna have a better WNBA career than
I
Caitlin
do
Clark.
too.
Like Paige Buckner is nice. Like just because she tore her ACL, bro, she's nice.
But that's what I'm saying, because that list is very short for like women. Like, dang, like you tune in, like, oh my god, like, you know,
I gotta watch you hoop.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like I have to watch you just put on a show.
Right.
That list is very short. So for that, like, obviously, like a bunch of eyeballs are on her. Like Sam said, like there's a chip on her shoulder. Like it's crazy of like how much of an impact she's had. Like she sells out arenas everywhere. Like she's literally a rock star.
She
Like,
is.
It's wild. So
Well, she's also with the, like, when's the last time you've seen a women's collegiate basketball player shooting from 25? Like, so she's changing the game in that regard to where now they're having to defend that, and she's putting the opponent in positions that they don't really know what to do because it's always half court, but not half court in half court.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So now that's bringing out the defense even wider. And I mean, even just in the Ohio State game, she blew past 5 players on her own because of that, because she's starting her play further out. And so as far as the physical game itself, y'all can disagree with me if you want, don't care. But women basketball players are more fundamentally sound than men.
1,000%.
I agree.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Good to know.
Agree with
So,
that. Yep.
I'm not gonna
Sure
agree
do.
with that, but yeah, go ahead.
there's a difference between fundamentally sound and athletic.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
So then,
Yeah, I know.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So
So yeah, I think it takes more skills and more fundamentals to do more moves.
no, I just
No, basic fundamentals.
Basic fundamentals. Okay, yeah, but to get advanced fundamentals, you gotta be very good at basic fundamentals. To go advance more, you gotta be really good at basic fundamentals. So like
you do.
I'm saying that the reason why women's basketball hasn't gotten the recognition it has is because they're not dunking, they're not doing these crazy
it's
things
like
like
yeah,
that.
that's the entertainment.
Right.
The entertainment
so
value.
a way that Caitlin Clark is gaining attention back to just fundamentals is her skill as a shooter. She's not doing anything crazy. It's just she's extending her game out, and it's changing the concept of the game and how it's structured. But I just think the type of players and the skill that we have in female basketball right now, all the way from freshmen, from Hidalgo at Notre Dame, all the way up to senior, like Caitlin Clark, like there are so many players, Juju, like there's so many players
Juju's
coming up.
a dog.
Beast.
What?
There are so many
That's one we
players.
forgot to mention.
There are so many players right now that it's just like the next 4 or 5 years. Like if you're not watching, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So then that leads into this. So with the players that you just named, and obviously WNBA players, Breonna Stewart, Kelsey Plum, Wilson, the list goes on. Where do you see women's basketball going from this point on?
I mean, it's already kind of starting. Like there's another team being added in the Bay Area in 2025. Like they're adding more teams, more locations. I think that, you know, they had the biggest draft year they had last summer. Like it's picking up momentum. It's long overdue. It's finally getting, like I said, the recognition it deserves, the viewership it's getting. Like I can't remember off the top of my head, but like a lot of the games that they're playing, whether it's Iowa or South Carolina, LSU, like they're breaking records on viewership. And so it's like something's going on, something changed, and that is the fact that there are quality women's basketball players that are finally getting out there. Now, it could also be a lot with the NIL and social media and things like that, but at the end of the day, like this is going to change the way that the WNBA gets recognized, and I think you're going to see a lot more teams start popping up.
What do you think anything could change to make it more exciting, more viewership?
Knowledge, education.
No, like the things that the WNBA can do to try to get more viewership.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like starting from the ground up of getting more people into women's college basketball and following them all the way through.
I think with the way that this is growing, how women's basketball is growing, it's going to force the WNBA to expand even more.
Yeah, I think the NBA should pick up.
It's gonna
I think the NBA should make it like G League teams. I think they need to combine with the WNBA.
They're going to have to.
And do attach all these
I would
other
love
teams.
to see a Houston
You can have
Comets.
30
The Warriors
WNBA
are kind of
teams,
doing
you
that
know?
right now by
Yeah.
the
They're-
expansion.
I know they're trying to
The
get into that.
NBA does pay for a sizable portion of
I was about to say a lot.
WNBA
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
needs
They
and how you
spread them.
run
That's
the
terrible.
league. Because it's just the money isn't the same as it is
Yeah.
on that level. So
Right.
the
Yeah,
NBA
that's why
is
they only
trying
have,
to
like,
help
yeah.
by
Right.
sharing the funds. But my question to you is, do you ever foresee, even in the next 15, 20 years, for a WNBA player to even get a average NBA contract? Because
Like-
the pay gap is
like bare
crazy.
minimum. Yeah.
Like it's $9 million average for the NBA players, it's $108,000 for WNBA players. So do you ever see that gap closing significantly?
And as we're talking about this, how the WWE and the NBA is going to evolve, Sabrina just agreed to Stephen Curry. They will have a 3-point shootout at the All-Star game.
Let's
Wow.
get it. They're gonna do it at the
Yeah,
airport.
It's like, literally,
They can do it at the
it's
airport.
stuff like that getting more support. There's a lot of NBA players that support the WNBA and the WNBA players. So like stuff like this of showing that support and that momentum. And this is just my personal take, but not getting into specifics on this particular session, but what happened with Brittany Griner, okay?
Yeah.
That is a huge safety. Let's just talk about the safety of that, right? You have women that are playing in the WNBA that have to go overseas to make more money. It is insane. Like there's only a handful, the people I named, Stewart, Wilson, Plum, that are getting top tier money.
Right.
Okay. So let's say you're an average player on the team, get plenty of minutes, not a star, but get plenty of minutes. Like you're making what we make out here to play the sport that you love. So what are you doing the rest of the year? Like they are having to get other jobs, do other things, or play overseas. Where in overseas, as we saw with Brittany Griner, like you typically make 9 times out of 10 more money over there, right?
Over there than here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like now you're putting players at risk for something like that. Now, granted, the specifics, we're not going to talk about it, but I just wish we were in an environment where they didn't have to do that.
Right.
And that they can make money just like the men. I don't think, unfortunately, it'll ever be like you're not going to have a WNBA player making what.
150 million.
Right.
Yeah, no, I was talking about like an average one, like a 3 for
Yes.
40 type of deal.
Yes, with people like Caitlin Clark, the NILs, because in order to keep the WNBA afloat, like because now you got to think about it, you're competing with money they're making in college. They got to sustain that
Correct.
into the WNBA. So it's like it's going to force more.
It's definitely going to force their hand.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, so Caitlin Clark's with Nike, Gatorade, Bose, like all these companies.
name.
Does that just stop when she graduates? No, it's going to keep going. So it's like they'll like LeBron. He doesn't make all his money on the court. He makes it in all this other stuff. But I do think that that's the transition from college to WNBA would definitely help. But then also the quality of players that are coming out and that unification between the WNBA, the NBA expansion is a good sign that it's leading that way.
I don't know. Yeah.
Houston Comets, we need a team.
Man,
I'm not
they
gonna
need to
lie,
bring the
my
comments
sister-
back.
I will
sister-
try out.
Houston Comets, we need
My
a
sister
team.
said
100%.
this is-
What do I got
this-
to lose?
True.
I'm going to try out. I'm going to be told no. I'm going to be like, okay, bye.
My sister kind of said this one time, not one time, like a year or two ago. She used to play not college basketball, high school basketball before she tore both her ACLs. But she said if she, this is no slander, she was like, if you put the goals to 9 foot and let women dunk, you know how much views they will probably get?
That would be crazy.
I mean, talk about when
would
Brittany
be.
Griner started dunking.
You know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
Yeah.
broke the internet.
Right.
Yeah,
Broke the
bro.
internet,
If
yeah.
you put the rims down to 9 foot and just let them just fucking really dunk and do all, you know how many views they probably get? Women dunking is kind of crazy.
It would definitely be insane.
It's crazy.
Do y'all
So-
think Juju's gonna be the first woman to get a signature shoe? She's a freshman.
Wait,
No, it's
No,
not.
doesn't. I think Maya has a.
Sabrina.
Sabrina has one.
Sabrina has one, yeah.
But do you think Juju's gonna get one?
like in college?
No, when she gets out of
Yeah,
college
yeah.
to
Yeah.
the next
Yeah,
level, because
yeah.
she got another
Yes, yes.
three years
Yeah.
before she goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I say I'm pretty sure Maya Moore has
I mean,
some.
I feel like that's gonna be
PEs.
P's
Oh,
and
you-
actual. I'm talking
yeah,
about a
signature.
I feel like-
signature.
No,
I feel like
Sabrina's
there's gonna be a
got
long
yeah.
line of girls that are probably gonna get their own shoe.
And I feel like
Paige.
they're gonna sell
Caitlin.
crazy because girls don't
Angel.
have like basketball shoes that are like, oh, she hoops and she wears these shoes.
Funny
like
story
that.
about Sabrina's shoes. I had someone tell me that they went to what's the sneaker con?
SneakerCon.
SneakerCon.
Yeah.
Literally thought they were about to buy Kobe's and they were Sabrina shoes, and then he was like, "Nah, never mind." See, that's the problem. That's the problem.
Okay, we gotta. Yeah, first of all, yeah,
Didn't want to buy him.
We
'cause they were
gotta
women's
date that
shoes.
back because Cheryl Swoops is the
Yeah.
first player to ever first WM player to have a signature.
Cheryl with the comments.
She had the
comments.
Nike Air Swoops. I
The
was like,
air swoop.
So before we move on,
Lisa Leslie, what the fuck?
you brought something
Man,
up
Lisa Leslie was
about Caitlin Clark. You said like kind of like her attitude and stuff. What do you mean by that? So like just kind of elaborate based on what you mean about her attitude and stuff like that.
I respect players that obviously can live up to the talk, right? Like she's performing off the charts. We've talked about that, and that's obvious. My issue with Caitlin Clark is I've started to, and this was just me personally, like I'm all about hyping up the crowd, but like this is just me. I'm not a person that just runs up into the stands after a play. Like that's just not like, you have to have this composure on the court, a defined balance of like shit talking and getting fired up, but then also remaining humble at the same time. And I feel like specifically with the Ohio State situation that had just occurred, and if you're in tune with anything that's going on, that first clip, let's talk about the first clip. You know that was all her. Like, there is no question. Mm-hmm. And then if you fast forward and see the most recent clip that came out, the front-facing one, it proves it even further. My problem with her is she's a sore loser. They lost to Ohio State. Mm-hmm. She put up 45 points, like you were saying earlier. She puts up her career high, all these points, but isn't winning.
Right.
And has the audacity to then come into the post-game press conference and say, this was a tactic. I could have been hurt. Luckily, I wasn't. All this
Tries
mess.
to paint this image.
For sympathy.
Right.
And it's like I would respect that a lot more if she just took the L and was like, next time we're going to get him.
Right.
Move along. But she had to create a scene to put the attention back on her, not Ohio State. And that's kind of where the issue runs a little bit for me, where I can kind of start to see that attitude
like kind of
bubbling
start bubbling up to the top.
Starting to bubble up.
Yeah, and I mean, like, people were so upset last year with Angel Reese, right? Doing this.
Yeah.
Man.
Doing that.
This and
The whole team was
"Can't
doing
see
it."
me,
Right.
You can't see me stuff.
And then I'm just like, that's part of the game.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What happened at Ohio State is taking it too far, and they were like, well, LeBron flops. Okay.
You think of a grown
do
man
you
running
see
to
him like going around, like he'll stand by and be like, no, I got fouled, and just like, but we know he's lying. But is he going and like creating these false narratives behind the scenes to create more attention on him? Like if his team gets beat, they get beat, and he's like, all right, chalk it up next. Caitlin Clark's doing the opposite of that. She's like, how can I make this situation back on me?
Right.
And that's what I don't get with.
Only thing I gotta say,
That's a fair point.
Yeah, it is. It's just only hard for college because they're kids.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I'm saying. These still are 18, 20-year-old kids. They don't know how to handle so much pressure.
Right.
So she should have a better attitude though. Like goddamn.
I mean,
and go Buckeyes. So
y'all know me. If we doing something competitive sports wise, I'm talking.
Yeah,
I'm talking from the beginning to the end. I'm talking
end.
before and after. And for me, that's like you were saying. I just keep that same energy the entire time.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
KG said it. It's only one way in and one way out of this trash talking game. You either all the way in or you all the way out. And you got to be willing to live with whatever comes from what happened on this court.
Right.
And you got to find a balance, like a healthy balance. And she'll find it whether she wants to or not, definitely at the next level. Because
She's
you
gonna have to at the next level.
got the New York Liberty with a super team. The Aces just won the championship. They got a super
With
team.
The Mercury.
with two girls that I can think top of my head that keep it real from the jump. That they're on the Kelsey Plum and Asia Wilson.
Yeah.
Like they've been that person. You know what you're getting when you're playing them, and you know the comments and how they're gonna give feedback. Caitlin, I feel like she's letting some stuff get to her head a little bit. And that's my only concern is if, because she's a senior this year. So it's like next up.
do females have to wait? They have to wait
level.
4 years. Females have to wait 4 years.
Do they have to wait for it?
They have to wait 3, but I mean, yeah.
They make him wait 3 years.
That's terrible.
I don't know if they make them, but
No.
I think it's just. I mean, especially now with NIL, I think they
Yeah,
just
oh,
wait
yeah,
now.
Yeah.
I mean, with NIL, I'm
not
I'm
going.
staying.
I'm
Yeah.
staying. Yeah.
I think whenever she gets,
But
to
y'all
this
see
next
Arch?
level,
You see
though.
Arch Manny making all that money? Hey, that
Money.
boy on that bench. Hey,
But that's different.
Money.
But that's
Money.
different because that's football.
NIL,
So
dude,
you're
that's
not
a fact.
making the money that the guys up there are making. And what we're talking about now with women's college basketball to the WNBA, that money is very comparable. So it's a difference.
I'm pretty sure
It's a
Arch
big difference.
quadruples Brock Purdy's salary.
And again,
But Brock Purdy's second contract is going to be
We don't know
90 times
We don't know
more
that.
than that first
That's if they
contract.
resign him. Bro, he's the second year. I'm
You're not going to resign the dude that took you to back-to-back NFC championship games. You the fool if you don't resign him.
Boo boo the fool.
Hey man, they just interchange quarterbacks so
I'm not even
fast.
the biggest Brock Purdy fan, and that's no.
They gonna bring
Who was the quarterback before Brock Purdy?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
They resigned him, right?
They didn't have a choice.
Barely.
Yeah.
Who was the backup? Nick Mullins?
Nah, Trey Lance.
Even worse.
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance is third string in Dallas.
Yeah, that was
Bad. So,
that was a terrible trade for them. They traded up to go get him.
They did.
That was terrible.
To 3. They went to 3. Yeah, they went to 3 to go get him.
yeah, no. It's
Y'all
bad.
could have drafted me. I would have took that first round money. I need it. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
So we'll end this with this one. So All-Star starters came out tonight. Who do y'all think got snubbed from that All-Star starter?
I gotta look at the list again.
Nobody, because it's all-star
And I will-
starters.
You know what?
You don't get snubbed in all-star starters because the fan vote is 50%. So there's no snubs.
I will go through the list. So in the West, we have KD, Jokic, LeBron, Luka, and Shea Gilgeous.
Oh, Edwards.
over
KD.
Luka or-
KD. Edwards over KD. KD, bro, the Suns are terrible right now.
Boy, hell.
Wait. Are y'all serious?
Anthony Edwards.
Go look at his
KD?
stats. Go look at his Anthony Edwards stats right now. Look him up.
But here you go, stat man.
No,
we
no,
talking
no.
about stats again.
And they're their number one team. They're the second team in the West.
Okay.
They're balling.
And
The problem with the fan vote is they ain't looking at stats.
I
like
know.
you are.
That's what I know. That's why
I say there's no
So
snubs.
when it
No,
comes to
fucking
fans, like they're
fan
not
votes.
gonna think of starting 5 without KD.
No, at all.
I hate fan votes.
All right, and then the
Get like the
East.
NFL, NBA. Get like the NFL, bro. Like
I told you.
all pros are
In the East,
accurate.
we got Embiid, Giannis, Tyrese Halliburton, Dame Lillard, and Tatum. I'll be honest.
Dame.
I don't know
Wait.
about
Dame Lillard made a starter.
is a starter.
That's why I say it's Dame. It's Dame.
over Maxey,
And Jalen Brunson. Trey Young, not a
Trae
starter.
Young.
And
Trae
Trey
Young,
averaging, 11 assists a game?
He been hurt a lot. Like he been on and off this year. So
Do you think that's because of the trade?
Which
What?
trade?
Because
For Murray?
Dame's now
Oh,
in the
Dame.
East.
Yeah. I
do
feel
you
like
mean?
it's because he's in Milwaukee.
Yeah, they forced
Because
it.
he's in
Yeah,
the East.
yeah.
Because
Right, that's
remember,
what
he
I'm saying,
wasn't-
because he would have been in the West.
He wouldn't have made
and He
it.
definitely wouldn't have made
wouldn't
it.
have
So
made
do you
that.
think a lot of fans might have picked him because then it's like him versus the West, like a situation where
Maybe. And also the thing that Jalen Brunson is criminally underrated. Jalen Brunson does not get the respect he deserves as a point
Yeah,
guard.
I think he got back from his injury and dropped like 30, 40, some random. Bro,
kills.
he's going
Kills.
crazy.
And he got to put up with Julius Randle, but that's a whole nother conversation.
That
A whole
is.
nother conversation.
Julius,
So,
be more consistent, dog.
Oh, LaMelo was hurt this year. I'm trying to think of East guards. I mean, he's gonna. He's gonna.
East.
I mean, he's gonna make it.
He'll
but
make
as far as
the.
starter,
He might be
no.
a starter, bro. His fans votes are crazy.
LaMelo,
Bro, his
it's
nigga
already
owns
decided.
Overtime IG page.
We're talking about over.
Hey,
If you
what are you
wanna-
talking
I think
about?
this is
If
over.
you want to
He said
have
fan
a,
I
votes.
think this is
Yeah,
done.
bro, he was a starter last year.
if you want to have a conversation about LaMelo, then that's a whole different topic
That's a
because
different
LaMelo
topic.
actually needs to get the hell out of Charlotte.
No, I
That's
think
a
I
whole
think
nother
he needs to escape
conversation.
Charlotte as well.
It is what it is.
LaMelo, go to Brooklyn. Go to Brooklyn. Get on that Nets team, man. Y'all be fired.
All right,
Nah,
so
yeah, but you
fire.
gotta remember LaMelo, bro. The fans love him, bro.
I mean, is he going to be an all-star? Yes, but starter.
He was last year, so you can't say
Was he last year?
yes.
Was he?
Yes.
I don't know about that.
He was LaMelo was an all-star starter last year.
I don't think he was.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't
starter.
think he was.
I think James was James wasn't the starting point
No,
guard.
because he pouted about it.
He
20.
He did what?
He pouted, about it.
He pouted about it. James Harden not gonna be an all-star in the West.
Wait,
either.
do they call these 2023 All Stars or 24?
2024.
2024. And it's in Indiana.
Yes.
That's why I
know
said I need to
go
shoot out at the airport, man. In that court they put in the
know-
airport.
Speaking of that,
They're going to be
court,
really bored there.
You know they covered the rims, right? So nobody goes in there and shoot.
Why y'all covered the
They're going to
rim?
be like, this is the Indy 500, and that's it.
That's it.
That's it. What is there to do in Indiana?
There's
Honestly,
nothing to do.
Nothing.
So, all right, I think that is a wrap for episode 7 with our special guest, my wife, Samantha Vaden. Thank you for coming, baby. We appreciate you coming, being our first guest on the pod. I'm Evan.
Wait a minute, guys.
Oh.
Before we leave, one last thing. Like, congratulations again,
Thank
guys.
you.
It was
Thank
a
you.
great wedding. I was very thankful to be there.
Thank you.
Last thing, guys, get in the comments.
Yes.
Let Evan know that it's time to come on home. We love you. We took great pictures. It was amazing. You look great, my guy. It's time to come on home.
Nah, he wasn't an All-Star last
Take
year.
us out.
Remember, he broke his leg last year.
You did. Oh,
Yeah, he did. Remember walking up the court, he broke his leg.
Thank
This is the year
y'all for
before.
tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Also check us
Man,
out on
look, we
Apple
need the support,
Pod,
man. Y'all come
Word
through,
of mouth.
man.
Check us out on Spotify, and we out.
Later.
Peace.
Bye.
See ya.